welcome everybody to the Charger to the Game betting clip. So we actually did something a little different today. So we actually had our guest linebacker from North Dakota State, Aaron Mercadale, on our show. So if you want to hear that interview with him and his chat about Trey Lance, playing with him, Easton Stick, even Carson Wentz at North Dakota State, hop on the other channel and check it out. But before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is going to be on all major platforms as well, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. But we're going to get started. So we're going to be talking and chatting about these betting outlooks for the NBA season that's coming to an end. And then I guess if you guys want to talk and chat about some MLB action, you guys can throw that out there too. But Z, I was going to ask you, man, so with the NBA, the end of the NBA regular season coming down to today, what is this? Sunday, May 16th? What's going on right now? So what are we looking at?
So right now the teams are jockeying for position for the play-in. The teams at the bottom of the East and the West in the standings right now. And so they're fighting for position 7 through 10. In the East, the 7 seeds have been locked up on both sides. So the 7 seed in the West is San Antonio. Mm-hmm. And then, San Antonio has locked in the 10 seed in the West, and Boston has locked in the 7 seed in the East. So the way it's scheduled right now, on Tuesday the 18th, on TNT, the Eastern Conference 10th seeded team will play the 9th seeded team. Right now, it's looking like 10th seeded team will either be Indiana, Washington, or Charlotte. Washington is playing Charlotte on Sunday. The winner will be locked into the 8th seed. The loser will be locked into the 10th seed. So the loser will be traveling to Indiana. The winner will be traveling to Boston. And so if the Wizards were to lose versus Charlotte, Wizards will play at Indiana, and Charlotte will go to Boston. The winner of the Charlotte-Boston game, or whoever is the 8th, 7th game, will stay as the 7th seed. The loser will play the winner of the 9-10 game. And then the winner of that game will play the Philadelphia 76ers. So we'll go to play Philly as the 8th seed. Yeah, so out of this round robin tournament of 4, the prize is going to Philadelphia to play the Sixers. Man. And then whoever ends up 7, their prize is to go to Brooklyn to play the Nets. So it looks
it's just like you're jockeying for position to lose. I mean, it's just like, do you want to lose to Kevin Durant or do you want to let Embiid dunk on you?
So it's looking like depending. If the Wizards were to win this game today versus Charlotte, they would host Indiana, and Charlotte would go to Boston. And
that's if they win.
If they win, yes. If the Wizards win, they will host Indiana. Charlotte goes to Boston.
Let's talk about that matchup. So if the Wizards win today, and since it's Sunday the 16th, Wizards are in a close one right now with Charlotte. So depending on that outcome, by the time we might finish this show, we might be able to tell you what it's looking like. But let's just chat about that real quick. So the Wizards in Indiana, what is your guys' opinion on that matchup if they do in fact play the play-in game and a 1-game, winner goes to the next round?
So Wizards have done well versus Indiana. They've matched up well.
I think so too.
And Boston has matched up very well against Charlotte. They haven't lost to Charlotte all year. Yeah. So that favors the Wizards. The Wizards play.
I think so too. If they play Indiana, I mean, I
like Wizards against Indiana.
In a one game situation, I think I might take the Wizards over Indiana. I gotta see how Beal plays though. I think me and you were talking just offline about Beal coming back off this hamstring injury, and can he get right? Like if he's not right though, I mean, Pacers got some guys. Malcolm Brogdon can go off a 30 or 40.
Brogdon has been out with COVID the last 10 days.
So is he still out though?
he might be back for the playoffs, but he still has to clear COVID protocols. So
okay, so
that's why he hasn't played in 2 weeks.
Right, that's a close one. So if the Wizards play Indiana,
and then with
Sabonis,
Sabonis has done well, but the matchup has been Rui, and they were college teammates, so they have been going against each other for over 8 years. So they pretty much
Sabonis in that matchup, though.
That's the key. So when they played him before, when Rui played, he scored 4 points. When Rui didn't play, he scored 28. So versus the Wizards, the 2 games. Wizards won both games, but the difference in Sabonis, when Hachimura is available, Wizards got a shot to control him. When he's not, Sabonis can dominate that game. I mean, just because he's too quick for the other Wizards bigs, and he's too skilled underneath for the bigger Wizards. So he's just a matchup problem. Only one who has a chance really on the Wizards roster is Hachimura, and that comes from knowledge of knowing the guy. The guy's been your boy for 10 years, so you know something about how he plays.
Yeah. Jay, what's your opinion on it? What's your if the Wizards and Pacers in a 1 game, who you taking?
I am taking Wizards without a doubt. I think the combination of Westbrook and Bradley Beal. Westbrook and Bradley Beal. Yeah, like I don't think they're holding that. Rui, like Z said, Rui is is a very deciding factor, but I don't know. I think Sabonis gonna get off. But what they got, Chris LeVert and Sabonis.
Chris LeVert, Sabonis, Malcolm Brogdon if he plays.
Malcolm Brogdon. So LeVert has been a problem when they play the Wizards.
He's right.
Chris LeVert has been a problem
just because of the size. The size he brings at 6'7".
6'7" guard.
Yeah. So Beal.
He's 6'7".
Yeah.
Chris
LeVert seemed like he was small, man. I always seen him ball.
That's a big, lengthy dude, man.
That's the thing. With the last time I played the Wizards, he was posting up Beal, and that was giving him a problem because he has the height advantage.
Bradley's only like 6'4", 6'5", right?
But on the other side, Beal was cooking him on the other end and scored 46.
Well, you can't stop Bradley Beal.
Well, you can't stop Bradley Beal. You can't.
And then Wizards won at the end. LeVert had a 3 at the buzzer to win, and he missed it. And the Wizards won that game. But it's...
So the other matchup is pending is Charlotte and Boston. Am I correct?
Charlotte at Boston.
And the Charlotte and Boston in a 1 game play-in, I'll start it off. So in a 1 game play-in situation, Boston and Charlotte, give me the Celtics. I think if
Charlotte.
Okay.
Yeah,
man, I ain't trying to hear that. Hold on, let me give it to you now. So if Boston comes out and they track the lineup of Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Evan Fournier, Jason Tatum, and whoever the hell it is at center, whoever, give me Boston. If Kemba's out with the whole hamstring thing and Marcus Smart is still out or for whatever reason, then obviously I would transition to Charlotte. But if all those guys, like I said, for the guys that are listening, if the Boston Celtics trot out Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Evan Fournier, Tatum, I don't see how you bet against that against the Hornets who have LaMelo Ball, Scary Terry. I mean, who are nice guys. They're their guys. I mean, what if Tatum goes out there and drops 30 or 40? What if Evan Fournier gives you 20? Like they're scoring threats. Like they're weapons. They're better scorers than Charlotte. But go ahead and give your opinion on it.
I mean, well, look, I think that Charlotte's a little bit more deeper. I would say. I like McDaniels is there. He's an underrated. He's a D. He can score, but he's on defensive. I still like Scary Terry. I like Malik. I like PJ Washington. I definitely like Miles Bridges. Like Miles Bridges is a matchup nightmare.
See, Boston's problem is they start slow. So they played Charlotte a couple weeks ago. I watched that game. End of first quarter, Hornets were up 33-23.
Right.
And then final score was 125-104 Hornets. They jumped on them.
Did those guys play though? Did Kemba, Marcus Smart, and Tatum they all play?
Everybody played. And so
everybody played.
And then so that was at Charlotte. At Boston was the exact opposite. So when they played them at Boston, the same type of thing, Boston came out strong. jumped out to a 39-19 first quarter lead, and they controlled it and won 120-111. So the key to these games have been who is awake in the first quarter. I mean,
right.
Who starts out and jumps on them in the first quarter.
But it'd be a clear indication if I would really go with Hornets in that. If PJ Washington is starting at the small forward, I'll be okay. But if they got C Martin starting at the small forward, they holding that L.
But why is that, Jay? Tell me why is that? Why is that big of a deal?
I don't think too. I don't think too much in C Martin. I think C Martin is cool, but I think PJ Washington is one of those people that I watched draft, and I think he's a solid player in general. And it's like you're gonna need your horses. You're gonna need them.
Charlotte's problem, just witnessing. So the game they're playing on Sunday versus the Wizards. They all-star players can control them later in the game. Charlotte had a 26-point lead versus the Wizards. Wizards are going to win the game by 6. Came all the way back mainly because of Beal and Westbrook. They got 2 stars who said we're not going to lose and took over the game and then led them to a 115-110 final Wizards victory. And yes.
They just won. Wizards just won.
115-110, yes.
Okay, so they're going to be – so the matchup is complete. So the Wizards are, in fact, going to be playing the Indiana Pacers, correct?
No, so Wizards are going to be playing Boston at Boston.
Oh, now. Boston, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Wizards clinched the 8th seed. So 8 versus 7. If they win, so that's the thing. The winner of the Wizards Boston will automatically be the 7th seed and face Brooklyn. The loser of that game will play the winner of Indiana and Charlotte, and then the winner of that plays the Sixers.
Gotcha.
So the advantage of getting that 8th seed is you win one game, you're already locked into 7, and bring on the Brooklyn Nets. And for the Wizards' perspective, they've matched up well against the Brooklyn Nets.
Hey, Z, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If the Wizards go ahead and win that game, I'm willing to bet everything I own, brother. The Nets will smash the Wizards, okay? Like you just let me know. You just call your price. You name your price. If you say the Wizards win this series, you name your price. Because I'll name the price. Yeah, whoever you ever know. I want that smoke.
I love to see it.
We can do a small wager on the side. We can do.
They have matched up way better versus Brooklyn this year. Wizards are 3-1 on the season versus Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's a nice stat. Like I said, you just keep that in the back of your head. If you don't want to do that,
and every game's been a great game. I mean, every game they played
Brooklyn close.
I mean,
but they gotta win that playing game first. But I mean, so as it stands right now, so the Wizards are gonna be playing Boston.
Yeah,
and then the other matches holding up as well.
So the 3 games this year versus Boston. Boston won the first game 116-107. Wizards won the second game 104-91, and then Boston won the third game 111-110 at the buzzer.
Yeah, let's talk about for that playing game, since it's actually complete. Yeah. How confident for our bettors out there? How confident for you two guys, Jay and Z? Are you big? Are you like big? You want to throw big money on the Wizards over Boston in the playing game, or you like, okay, I'll throw something out there? You know what I mean? Like, Wizards, how are you feeling about that?
I would definitely take Wizards plus the points because they're going to give the Wizards at Boston. Wizards will get 7-8 points, and that's
7-8 points. Why do you say that?
Because Boston's at home, and the Wizards' road games.
I don't know, man.
On the road, the Wizards haven't traditionally this year got any respect.
I don't think they're going to get 7 or 8 points, though, man. I think it might be like 2.
So at home, they get too much respect. Like today, the Wizards versus the Hornets. Which is absolutely crazy. It was -5, and what was the final score? It's absolutely nuts. Hornets were up 26 in this game. I didn't even think anything about the spread is a push at -5. Unbelievable.
Man slapped his laptop.
Oh man! If you didn't know, I had the Wizards -5. They were down 26. I didn't think nothing of it. I thought it was a loss, and they end up winning by 5. It's a push.
Yeah. Well, at least you're a fan. At least they came back and at least came and got your money. Jay, but you got anything else before we move on to the Western side, Western Conference playing stuff?
Nah, man, you already know what it is. Money line, like I said, I'll stick on my picks unless something changes. But I'll be watching those lineups closely.
Bet. All right, so Z on the Western Conference side. So what's the scenario with that? So I mean, I guess the Lakers and Trailblazers. It comes down to today, right? Because whoever's going to get that 6th seed. So if the Lakers as it stands right now, the Trailblazers and Lakers have the same record. They're tied for 6th and 7th spot. So what is the scenario with that? Do you happen to know who wins and who what?
So in the West, right now, San Antonio is the 10th seed. So whoever finishes 9th will be hosting San Antonio. And then 8 plays 7. So right now with the Western standings, you have hold on, let me see.
So in the Western standings. So right now the Trailblazers are at 6. The Lakers are at 7 as it stands, but they have the same record. The Warriors are at 8. The Grizzlies, your guys' Grizzlies are at 9.
Grizzlies.
And
Yes,
then the
sir.
Spurs are at 10. So
So we would be looking at and then the schedule today with the games today, you got so the Mavericks play the Timberwolves.
mm-hmm.
Lakers play the Pelicans. So Lakers gonna beat the Pelicans.
Lakers gonna beat the Pelicans, yeah.
Yeah.
LeBron back too. So
Yeah.
And then
That's a wrap.
so those are the 2 key games out west. And so it looks like Lakers going to get the 7th seed. They might be out of the play-in, which is crazy.
So who do the Trailblazers play? They play who? They play somebody tough, right?
So Trailblazers play the Nuggets.
Or the Nuggets? Whoa! The Nuggets are fighting for something because if the Clippers win,
no, the Nuggets they clinched yesterday with the Clippers lost. Clippers lost yesterday. Yeah, really? Nuggets already clinched because Clippers lost.
So I got nothing to play for.
Yeah, so Clippers, I don't know. They played nobody yesterday, and they took the L, which makes no sense why they would do that. But that's they lost to the Rockets 122-115. Losing to the Rockets, pretty much. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So as it stands right now, so the Lakers, if the Lakers move up to 6, so it will be the Trailblazers. So 7 plays 8 will be the Trailblazers versus the Warriors. Is that right?
No. So 8 plays 9. So 7 doesn't have to play anybody. So 7 is locked into a 7-game series.
Okay.
So 8 will play 9. So right now it'll look like
so
Warriors and Grizzlies, and then
Spurs.
Actually, no. Lakers and Warriors and Grizzlies and Spurs. So Lakers play the Warriors, and then the Grizzlies play the Spurs.
Right. So as it stands right now with that, let's just base it off of that. Let's just say that happens. Let's just say in the playing game, the Lakers play the Warriors, and the Spurs play the Grizzlies or whatever.
Yeah, but today, later or this evening, the Grizzlies play the Warriors, so that's going to affect whoever wins that game.
Oh, yeah.
So they play today. So whoever wins that game will be 8-9 will be decided there. So assume the Warriors win, they play they'll play the Lakers, and then the Grizzlies will play the Spurs.
Right. So in that standpoint, so let's talk about the Lakers Warriors matchup. Who do you guys like in that one? The 1-game playing.
Come on, man.
I'm just asking, man. Like I said, we got people listening to our bets, man. Like people are gonna put big bread on this, or they might put something small on it.
The key is gonna be Warriors are gonna be getting points, and anytime you give Steph 7-8 points, Steph with points is a beautiful bet.
Mm-hmm. And the
Lakers might win, but the money line is going to be crazy, so it's not going to be a valuable bet.
You think it'll be crazy?
Yeah, the Lakers are going to be minus 300 probably for that game. Just because it's a playoff game.
Okay.
I mean,
and they'll be at home. It'll be in LA. So
I mean, without all Lakers going to win, but I do encourage people to get some extra money on the side. Depending on the betting website that you use, you can bet on the over and under for a player. You better bet Steph.
Steph over what? Over anything?
Depends on what it is. I don't know what it is because he's
going
to.
If they say over 30, what do you think?
No, take it. Yes.
Yeah,
Steph
over 30.
Yeah, Steph.
Take it. He's going.
Another bet is over on threes with Steph or Draymond assist. Draymond is
Yep.
getting more and more assists. It's all Steph's threes. Draymond gets that cheap pass, cheap assist, and Steph is nailing three.
Yeah. There you go, y'all. So I mean, yeah. So y'all look at those. That's probably the best bets. I mean, outside of Lakers, because I'm getting creative with this because Lakers going to be easily favored. Unless you big money Roman Z here, and you can lay
I ain't got
out
no
like
big money, man.
five,
I'm just as
16 grand. You know what I'm saying on the winner and still take a few grand home. You know, you got people like me that got to get creative. So bet on these players, like C said, assist with Draymond, Steph over whatever he's.
Hold up, man. I got family listening to this goddamn podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron got money? Hold up. Let me give him a call.
I mean, so it's been interesting. So the games between the Lakers and Golden State, it's either been Golden State winning close or the Lakers destroying them. Like the last time they played, Lakers won 128-97.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that was their revenge game because the game before Steph went crazy, scored 18 in the fourth quarter, bringing them back from down 15 to beat them.
Yeah,
and that's not gonna happen.
So for me, I'm a wrap. So for the Lakers the Lakers and Warriors, like I said, I'm a money line guy. I might throw something small. I do like this, like you said, with the Steph over whatever point, points they give them. If it's over 30, it's probably going to be something like that. I love that, but I definitely do obviously like the Lakers money line. I think it'll be in the 200s. You know what I mean? Like I said, I ain't gonna do something crazy. I think you could parlay with that with another playing game or another baseball bet if you guys bet baseball and just have it out from there. But the last game, fellas, would be the Grizzlies and the Spurs playing game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So in a 1-game series, so in the playing game, who you guys the Grizz? Tell me why.
I think that the Spurs are good, but I think they lack key players or impact players. They are like a team unit, as we know with the Spurs, but you got John Morant.
Yeah, and you got your guys back. Yeah, you got Jackson or Dylan Brooks or something is back. Yeah.
So it's like
the key is going to be the experience with San Antonio. I mean, you can never count out Pop. You can never count out DeMar DeRozan.
They don't got no scoring threats. All you got is DeRozan and what is it? The young guy
Murray.
You got Walker. I like Walker. DeJounte Murray.
Yeah. I mean, they don't really scare me. Like I said, with the Grizzlies, they're athletic.
The Wizards will. I mean, not Wizards. The Spurs will ugly up the game in the playoffs, and Popovich will find a way to pull it out. I mean,
I hear
the way they play, especially against the Grizzlies. They've dominated the Grizzlies this year. It's just the Grizzlies have a young.
It was early in the season. A lot of their guys, the Grizzlies were. A lot of their guys were hurt all the year. Like you said, Because I mean, the Grizzlies, I was looking forward for big stuff for them this year, but like I said, their guys got hurt early on in the year or before the season, and they just been hanging around close to the bottom of the Western Conference. But in the 1-game series,
Spurs just find
give me the Grizzlies, man. Give me the Grizzlies.
I'm gonna say 1-game series, yeah.
Yeah, give me the Grizzlies, man. You guys got any more bets before we wrap up? Any MLB, basketball, anything down the pipe?
Nah, not today. Right now, I kind of got caught on the later bets, so we'll reload later on this week for the next pod.
Yeah, fired up for the playoffs. Let the playoffs begin. And
there we go.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
I can't wait. So if the playing game is then, so when does the actual playoff start? You guys know?
Well, so playing games will be depending because basically this week is going to be play-ins. So they'll play the first game Tuesday, the next game on Thursday. Depending on who wins, there might be a third game.
That's true.
Because what happens?
I don't want to see that shit, man. I just want to see them get to the playoffs.
So basically, it's a round robin tournament. So basically, if let's say Wizards beat the Celtics, they're locked into 7. But then the Celtics have to go play the winner of Charlotte versus Indiana, and then the winner there takes the 8th seed, and then next week the following begins the playoffs with 8th seed going again. So Boston going to Philly. I mean, the 8th seed, whoever will be the 8th seed. So the 8th seed plays Philly, 7th seed plays Brooklyn.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, hey, everybody, that concludes our show. Like I said, as you can see, I mean, we're just, talking, chatting about NBA. the possible outcomes for these playing games. Hopefully, it'll be a more full schedule on next show, which will be out Friday. And then this next upcoming weekend, we have a special guest on our regular sports podcast who will be Tony Covington, former NFL player, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll have him on and chat about what is he doing now in his days of playing football in the NFL. But be sure to subscribe on all major platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube page, hit the like button, leave comments, and we'll see you guys next show.